excellence is what you get, how are you living? What are you giving? If excellence is what you see, then excellent is who you be. What are you pursuing? It's all up to you. And when you come and make up in your mind that you want to be different.
Hello, beloved. Hello. Dr. Catherine E. James here, bringing you For the Love of It, a weekly show designed with one sole purpose in mind, and that is to add more love into the world, one episode at a time. Thank you for sharing your precious time with me. I am grateful to have you join, whether you join live or you watch the replay of the broadcast later. Either way, I know that time is precious, and if you spend any of it when you spend time with me, I am grateful. It's not lost on me. For the Love of It will take on many forms. We just never, ever, ever know what Papa has in store for us. But everything will be anchored in Luke 10:27. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, soul, and strength, and thy neighbor as thyself. That last part, as thyself. That's the part that I have been created to champion in this entire universe of ours, that we, each human being, would love themselves so well that we have an overflow, that we love others from our overflow place. Look, beloved, let me just say, there is no sufficiency of receiving love from others if you don't love you, because their love will never be enough. There will always be a deficit. So we must love you. So that was the first nugget of today. All right. It is my life's intent that every soul would know love and know that they are loved. And that starts with ourselves. So every conversation we facilitate, all the tools and strategies we share, the guests we have on the show, and the actions we invite you to take, and we invite you to take action. So you'll see some numbers appear at the bottom. I invite you to call in to any one of those numbers. Look, don't listen and don't call in and ask a question. I know you out there. I know you're listening. You know I love a two-way conversation. So I invite you to be a part of this episode and ask your question, any question about love or the topic that we're talking about today, which will always be love in some way. And so the guests we have on the show, and we have a wonderful guest on the show today. We're going to talk about that in a moment. The actions we invite you to take, again, are all rooted in the assumptions that we would love ourselves. So make sure that you are participating and that you will be a part of the show. So as you know, the goal has been, and we haven't always met the goal, but the intention has been that every last Friday of the month, we would have an in-studio guest. And so we end the year with a wonderful opportunity to bring this precious young woman before you, Miss Christin DewBerry.
Hello.
Hey,
Good
honey.
morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It is my pleasure. So last week we had Erica Horn, one of my nieces, and this week we have another niece on. So it's a family affair, a 2-week family affair.
Yes.
So Christin, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So it's so that the audience gets in. So Christin and I decided to spend some time together, and we're going to spend some time together on Friday. And so I was like, okay, well then you might as well be on the show. Because so we're going to talk about what she loves, because you know the guests that I have on the show are guests who are living life doing the thing that they love. And so what I have written here is today I have the absolute privilege of bringing to you a young woman who spends her days pursuing her life's dreams. Christin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your life's dreams?
Yes. So, like she said, my name is Christin DewBerry. I'm a third-year law student at Detroit Mercy Law.
That's a pom-pom. That's worth a pom-pom.
Definitely.
Yes. Third year.
Yes.
It's 3 years already. That's crazy.
Yes. I'm in my final semester of school, so I'll be graduating in May.
What?
Yes.
I'm not ready. Wait a minute. Wait.
Me either. Yes.
May of what?
May of 2024.
This May.
Yes, this May coming. I'll be done with law school. And I also am the Student Bar Association president at my university.
And what university is that?
That's Detroit Mercy Law.
Look at you.
Yes. So that organization in particular, we are responsible for facilitating all of the other organizations at the university. So providing them with funding for them to host events, as well as, their creation and dissolution, I guess you could say, of the organizations. And then we interact with the faculty and the deans of the university to make sure that student concerns are heard. And then our final responsibility is to hold events for students. So we actually put on events at local establishments in Detroit. And we just kind of allow students an opportunity to get along and to interact, fellowship with one another outside of the classroom and law. So yeah, I enjoy that. And I'm also a law clerk at a firm in downtown Detroit. So pretty busy schedule.
Y'all listen to this girl. It missed me. Like the 3, you almost done.
Literally, yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Wow, I'm blown away. Erica blew me away last week. I was speechless on my own show, and now here I am.
2 weeks in a row.
Y'all know, right? Wow. So, talk to us a little bit about your love for law.
Okay, so one thing that I've definitely learned to love in law, I'll start there, is just the versatility. So when I first came in, I wanted to go into sports law. I wanted to be a sports agent. So I thought that was really the only thing that I would be doing in law. But once I actually got my foot in the door, I saw that I don't have to commit to one specialty in law. I can do whatever it is I want to do in law. So right now, I have a passion for medical malpractice just because of everything that Black women endure with medical professionals.
Yeah.
But that stems from just me wanting to advocate and be a resource for people that look like me, because for so long the government has oppressed us. We haven't had the resources to get the kinds of attorneys that we need to represent and to advocate on our behalf. So me taking the time to get the knowledge that I'm learning now puts our culture in a more powerful position, because I can say, okay, wait, don't do that. Like I can't. In certain, there are limits on it just because every profession has limits. But the fact that I have the knowledge to share, I'm happy that I pursued this career in particular. So I think that answers the question how I love law. But definitely.
So I heard what I loudly heard was service and advocating.
Yes.
That's what I loudly heard. And you said to help to put our culture in did you say a better position or?
Essentially, yes.
Yes. To help. And you and I talked before on the way over, and you just talked about basically in the Bible, there's a scripture that talks about my people perish for lack of knowledge. Right. And it's kind of what you were talking about, is a lot of that there's so much we don't know about law.
Right.
And it's the fact that we don't know it that really gets us into problems. And that, then that's where you all can come in and support and help us.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. Love that. Yes. Okay. So the versatility, that's one thing that you grew to love.
Yes.
Okay. So anything else that you would say that I love about law?
The gray area, like everyone thinks of the law as black and white, right? So the legislature, the legislature passed a bill that says you cannot do X, right? But the job and the role of an attorney is to argue that gray area, to argue the in between based on the facts that are in this scenario. They're different from what the court previously said in a different scenario. So that's why the court should look at this one differently. It's nuanced, but essentially it's finding that argument that may persuade the judge to think like, this circumstance is different than the other one because of the reason, or maybe a different reason that you didn't mention in your argument, but that they thought of because of your argument. That's our goal. So I appreciate that, because nothing life is not black and white. There's never just a you did this because that. There's always something in between that people don't know or they do know that factors into your decision making. So being able to argue that, I appreciate that and love that about law as well.
I'm impressed. I am impressed. Listen to you. Oh wow, that is so powerful. I
Thank
love, love that you um so what you said basically was argue the in between based on the facts
Yes.
in this scenario.
Bum, bum. 2023 to set that precedent that was just honorable. Yeah.
You.
So that's definitely a
Oh,
top moment for me. Walking in the shoes that I'm in right now.
I'm a proud auntie. Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so what made you think you could be president?
Hmm. That is okay, that's a racy question. Let
It
me
is. It's
okay.
a racy question. It is.
So I guess the short answer. So I was the treasurer the year before
Okay.
on the same board, and I interacted with the president. I let her know from the time that I started. She was older than me, so it was easier for me to do that. I think if we were graduating at the same time, she might be a little more like, I'm not going to tell you how I did what I did. But I let her know that look to be president next year. So anything, any major decisions that you make this year or anything just throughout the year, I just ask that you keep me in the loop, that I can be prepared and kind of making decisions before the year starts. And she did that for me, but I knew when I took the tour with my dad and we walked around the school, I remember seeing them. They have whoever graduates in the executive position, they have a picture in the center of the composite. And I remember looking and saying, who's that? What's the SBA? What is that? Just because I'm like, I want, when you look at the composite, you look right at that person. You say, who is that? Why are they in the center of the composite? So I knew from then that I wanted to do it. I just didn't know what all I would have to do and how time consuming it would be. But yeah, I asked her to keep me in the loop, let me know what I need to do. And honestly, I lent her a lot of support, just things that I didn't even recognize were leadership qualities, but that my parents had instilled in me when I was younger, like things that I just thought were common sense. Like, okay, this is a business transaction. We need to get something in writing. Like, let's make sure we get it written down. For her, it's like, oh no, they said they would do it. It's fine. And I'm like, oh no. We're paying thousands of dollars. We need to know that they're gonna do their end of the bargain. So things like that. I'm like, okay, I have the leadership qualities. So that's not a problem. And then I was able to communicate with my peers. And that's the executive positions are the only ones that the entire student body votes on. Every other position is pretty much based on your class. So a smaller pool of people to run against and people to elect you. So that was the other thing that I focused on even when I started law school, just building those connections with my peers, whether it be people younger than me, older than me. I mean, older than me, either way is beneficial because you need to have a network in the legal field. But it was just nice to create a sense of community before I got into my role as president. And then as treasurer, I was able to deepen my community. And then now as president, I'm able to kind of more so reap the benefits of the community that I've created and just work on translating that strategy down so that every other class can create that sense of community as well.
Why is community important to you?
I mean, you need a community. Like I said, in the legal field, you definitely need a community because even to get into it, you need people. But you have to have somebody that you can lean on, that you can communicate with, that you can just decompress with. Like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. Are you? Ugh, we're both overwhelmed, and just know that you're not alone. And
Yeah.
I think so many times as humans, we think that we have to just go through everything by ourselves, including myself. I'm very much I'll just put my head down and work my way through it until I'm done. But the reality is you need people
Yeah.
and you need people you can rely on.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create that within the school because everyone has their independent communities,
Yeah.
but we are the only people who know what each other are going through right now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to instill in them, like, you don't have to just go home and talk to your parents. I talked to my dad too, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, you just got 50 more pages to read. No problem. It's like, I just read 150. I have 50 more. Like, I need someone who understands. I'm frustrated right now. So, but I think community is important for that reason. Like, you need to have people you can rely on, even if you can't rely on people that you can at least count on every once and again. Everybody doesn't show up how we want them to, but to know that somebody will try to be there, that's something.
It is. It is something. Wow. Wow. So you walked in on the tour, you saw the person in the middle of the composite, and you were like,
that's me.
That's me. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. So I'm going to back the question up a little bit more then.
Okay.
So that was your moment of saying, that's me. My girlfriend said, my bestie said, that's amazing. She deserved pom-poms.
We'll do an extra one then.
All right, Brina, this for you. Brina, you see, she dresses me too.
Okay.
So if I got on sparkle, used to now I buy my own sparkle, but she did buy me this.
Okay, I like it. I need one.
So something before, like when you saw the composite, you then knew that could be you, and you made up your mind then. What allowed you at that moment to say this can be me?
I think my life.
Okay.
I think my life prepared me.
Okay.
My parents prepared me.
Yeah.
My family. I think in life, our trials and tribulations, while they feel like overwhelming at a time, they are really guiding opportunities for us to find out, or not for us to find out, but for God to lead us on our path. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to cry, but I didn't even think I was getting into law school.
Okay.
So I knew it was God then, but to get in with the full ride, I knew it was God.
Girl.
I knew it was God. Girl. So I don't want to cry, but I just knew that at that point, what could I not do?
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? She said at that point, what could I not do? At that point, because you made up your mind. When you get to the point where you say at that point, what could I not do? Thank you. When you get to the point where you say at that point, what can I not do? Like, Christin, let me tell you, what we do then is we tap into God's dream for us.
Yes.
We tap into it. So many of us live our lives outside of the dream that God has for us. Like, I heard Oprah Winfrey said something and it just blew me away. I heard her say it a while ago, lean into the dream that the Creator has for you, right? I love that statement, like lean into the dream, lean into it. But then she said something, so I went to I done got like consumed with The Color Purple. So, I watched all the interviews of all of them.
Okay.
And on one of the interviews, she expounded on lean into the dream. She said, when I thought about the fact that God has a dream for me bigger than I can ever imagine,
right?
I was like, forget my dreams. I want the dream you have for me.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, heck no.
Right.
I don't have no dream. Papa, what's your dream for me? I'm leading into the dream that you, like this television show is a dream, right? You know, I walked in here on August the 9th of last year. Was it August 9th? Of the year before, August the 9th of the year before. I know it's August 9th because it was my niece Angel's birthday. And so I walked in, and Kayla's.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Because I meant to say happy birthday to both of them on the show, and I forgot. As a matter of fact, let me stop right now because I don't want to miss this. Happy New Year. Last week, I meant to say Merry Christmas, and I got out and I forgot. So I want to just say, beloved, Happy New Year to you. Thank you. Love yourself so tremendously and so richly. Like, spend the rest of this year pouring into you so that your cup overflows. That is not selfish. It's not narcissism or anything. That's responsibility. No one has responsibility to take care of you or to fill your cup. It's beneficial when we do, right? It's beneficial when we do, but we gonna sit on the sidelines and wait for somebody to do it. Hecky no. Okay. Fill your cup to overflow so you have an abundance to serve other people. Give yourself that gift coming out this year and make that your norm for 2024. I'm just saying.
That's on my list. That's on my vision board.
I need to
prioritize my cup. Yes. Serve from the saucer.
Serve from your saucer. Yes. She was at the Self-Love Revolution last night. So
be there next time.
March, we have another Self-Love Revolution. Go to drcatherineejames.com. A website newly done. We don't have to look at the website. Newly done. And so go to the website, and I have so much I could say. And so lean into the dream. You leaned into the dream that your parents had for you, right?
Right.
That your parents have for you, that that God has for you.
Yes.
We can't lose. So then when it was already done.
Right.
You said that composite, it was already done because you brought yourself to it. And it was a done deal. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I am so very proud of you. Oh, this girl about to graduate in May.
Yes. And then the bar, and then I'm
ready for graduation. The bar
yes.
is a done deal.
Yes, right.
The bar is a done deal. Wow. I was looking at your Tennessee State graduation pictures the other day.
Yes.
All right. So we got to bring to a close. What is something that you would share with anybody, just from what we've been talking about? If you're going to share to someone, what would you share as a final thought, towards the idea of, whatever's on your heart?
I would just say to be open to your future and to the possibilities and opportunities that you have. Be open, like you said, to what God is ready to pour into you. He can't pour into you if you aren't prepared, right? So you have to prepare yourself before you even see it coming, right? You need to be doing things that when he is ready to pour into you, when he does find out that you're ready to receive that blessing, you need to be ready to receive it, right? So you need to prepare yourself. So that would be my recommendation. Don't halt yourself because of where you're at right now, whatever tribulation, whatever trial, whatever life experience. There's greater still to come. So prepare yourself for the greater.
Oh, y'all, mic drop. She just said, prepare yourself for the greater. Oh my God. All right. We got to close this show down. Remember, look, you can go to my website, go to any of my YouTubes and get some self-love tools and strategies, because we don't have time to give it to you today. Remember, the conversations, tools, and strategies offered on this show is not intended as a substitute for official mental health practice. If you're in need of service, beloved, be sure to seek out a mental health professional. And again, I always say, I am a mental health professional, but not what I'm giving here is not mental health professional content, because it would be irresponsible for me to do that outside of a relationship with you. So go and speak with a therapist, a psychologist, whatever it is that you need, and let that be normal for you. Just like the body is susceptible to illness, so is the mind. We try to make it different, but it's not. It's all one thing. It's one thing. So if you need mental health, go get it. Okay. So as we conclude, I like to end with this quote. Dr. Martin Luther King said, everybody can be great because everybody can serve. And Miss Christin here is a servant. She's a servant, an advocator, yes. And she is doing the thing, y'all. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject or verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know the second theory in thermodynamics and physics to serve.
I don't.
You don't have to, right? We don't
I don't know it.
You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. And you can be that servant. Beloved, this has been Dr. Catherine E. James and Miss Christina DewBerry. Christin.
That's my sister.
Well, all this time I've been trying not to call you Christina. Miss Christin DewBerry, serving you For the love of it. This is the nieces edition. We had a niece
Yes.
edition last week. Got a niece edition this week. From WHPR TV Detroit. I love you. I really do. Be well and love yourself out of 23 and into 24. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
You know what? Excellence is what you want, and excellence is what you get. How are you living? What are you giving? If excellence is what you see, then excellent is who you be. What are you pursuing? It's all up to you. And when you come and make up in your mind that you want to be different,